gathered here today to release you to the universe to never come back in our lives again. Channel that pain. Channel that intensity. Please bring out the corpse. I've been a lot of things in my life. I've been a bank robber and a prisoner, but being a shaman is my calling. Ayahuasca is a Schedule I narcotic, the same as heroin and LSD. But it's not a drug, it's medicine. And in my church, it's a sacrament. We can do in 2 days what conventional therapy may take years to do, but only if you are willing to step into the pain. Brewing ayahuasca is art. There's a lot of things that you gotta know putting this brew together. Ayahuasca is a portal to the divine. That's what DMT is. That's what's in ayahuasca. There's other spirits and synergies that go within our ayahuasca, but the main kickoff point is DMT. DMT is a Schedule I narcotic, and it is the most powerful psychedelic known to man. The effects are similar to LSD in the fact that it is a hallucinogen. It makes shadows stand out, buildings appear to weave. It amplifies your surroundings. We have 4 components to our brew. This is the acacia. This acacia is harvested in an incredibly ethical way on a farm in Hawaii. This one here is the bee cappy vine. A lot of the components of ayahuasca comes from this vine. I love using Syrian rue as well. It's been used for thousands of years in ancient ceremonies dating all the way back to Persia. Then there's other things that I cannot reveal to you. That's a shaman's secret. Because a lot of people would try to make the brew, and what they don't understand is that if you don't brew it right, the tea can become toxic, and the next thing you know, people are dead. And we want to let it sit there, and we want to let it slow cook for 24 hours. And then after that, we will let it chill for 24 hours. And then after that, we're going to cook it again. And then we'll let it set again. And this process will be repeated over and over until the brew is perfectly correct. It's been described to me as earthy, rooty, woody. It's been described to me as pig shit.
Oh, wow, that's gross.
I call it my muddy water.
Whoa!
That's where Mother lives, in my muddy water. I only bring in loving intentions into this room to intermingle with Mother Aya as we're working our brew. And I also bring in the intent of the people I'm brewing this brew for. If I have some information about them or know what they're coming for, like PTSD or child sexual abuse. One of the key components I try to infuse into the brew is a forgiveness. And Mother Aya brings that to the table wholeheartedly.
I had a lot of bad things happen to me in childhood. Somebody close to me and my family caused me a lot of harm when I was little. And I didn't start remembering until I was in my early 20s. I forgot a lot of things because it was about my survival. Once I started remembering parts of my childhood abuse, my whole world fell apart. I'm still harboring a lot of anger and rage Probably ultimately a lot of sadness too. It's my intention to try to deal with these things using ayahuasca.
When I was young, I knew I didn't really fit in with the boys, but the girls weren't really welcoming toward me either. Since I was a kid, I've been trying to figure out my whole gender identity. I have definitely had a lot of depression and anxiety caused by having to push my emotions down and learning a lot of unhealthy coping mechanisms. It's weird wanting to be transgender, but not really thinking of yourself as transgender. Because no one really wants to be transgender. I think my #1 priority coming to Ayahuasca is to address my depression, anxiety head on, and come out here stronger and more prepared.
Hello.
Hello, everyone.
How are you?
I'm well.
Good.
I'm Jules.
All right. If you all would like to grab your waters, then we will proceed downstairs. You all can come on in and find your beds. We can go ahead and get those made, let you all get situated, changed into some comfy clothes. For this ceremony, we have Taylor, we have Jules, and we have Emily.
I cannot remember a time that I was not sad. I'm diagnosed with bipolar disorder, and I don't know who I am without depression. It crosses my mind how much easier that it would be if I wasn't here. I know that ayahuasca is pretty intense, but I came here prepared to face what I need to face, and I'm here and I'm ready to do it.
I want to thank each and every one of you for the trust you have shown us. We know this is not an easy thing. I remember when I poured my first cup and it was sitting in front of me, and I was wondering how well I knew the guy who had sent it to me all the way from Peru. So I understand the courage it takes to lay yourself on the altar of self-discovery. We're not here to throw you off a cliff. We're here to let you get some confidence within the medicine so you can go really deep tomorrow night. Now, during this evening, your journey's gonna come in waves like this. Sometimes it's gonna be down here, and you're gonna say, "Woo, it's over." No, it ain't over, but that's when most people go, "Can I have some more?" And we're gonna give you some more. But it ain't a drinking game. It ain't nothing like that. I seen a 78-year-old lady drink more than a 200-pound man. You know, it just depends on what you need and how the medicine works with your system.
I'm mostly afraid that I'll hold on to things and not let go and just experience what ayahuasca has to offer.
I fear not being able to take care of myself during ceremony because it's a very vulnerable state to be in.
I'm going to do a shot with you just to let you know there's nothing in this that I don't put in my body on a weekly basis. You coming and holding that cup and the butterflies that hit your stomach, because you know when you tip that cup back, 1, it's not going to be pleasant. 2, you're along for the ride from that moment on. This is part of the sacrifice. The only answer is to submit. Ayahuasca is a hallucinogenic tea made with plants from the Amazon, and it is the strongest psychedelic known to man. But this isn't like LSD. Ayahuasca is a portal to your inner self, your subconscious. And through that portal, you're going to meet a goddess we call Mother Ea. When your journey first takes off, you may feel euphoria until, boom, the spike hits and the purge begins. You may laugh, you may cry, and you may do both at the same time. You may puke or shit, but each of those purges are a physical manifestation of an emotional release. That's when you truly find healing.
I feel like I've microdosed LSD because I've done that specifically.
Once you get into it, it's nothing like acid. You can't maintain and you can't control.
Okay. Yeah.
The best you can do is just accept and allow and flow along. Jules is the first transgender person that we have worked with. I'm genuinely excited to see what Mother Aya has to offer her. My hat's off to people who are transgender. It's not ever easy being yourself, but when you feel like you're trapped in a body that's not yours, and to come out and say, you know, look, this is not who I am, but they're brave.
Definitely feel a little something.
Okay. It's probably just now starting working through you because you're about getting close to an hour in from your first cup. Because I'm even feeling that little cup I did. So I know it's working through.
I don't know how to describe it, but the room feels less square,
I feel you.
like less angular.
The space is shifting.
Yes. I started to transition just over 5 years ago. Medically, I started hormones 2 years ago. My mom has strong convictions about her religious beliefs. I think my transition was very hard on her emotionally. She's never really gotten past that. It's hard. I respect my mom a lot. She's sort of my hero. I want to tell my mother that I miss our old relationship, and I miss, you know, being a part of her life and her being a part of mine. But I don't know how to explain to someone that who believes you're like possessed by a demon that that I'm still just me. I'm just not a son. I'm a daughter.
I'm not a doctor. I'm not a therapist. I'm a shaman. I'm part of that mortar between the bricks. I'm the person who's going to sit here and try to set you up so Mother Aya can do her best for you.
How you doing, baby?
I'm all right. I'm
Cool.
liking just laying here like this.
That's the best thing to do. The more you can just relax and make your mind like this vast sea of nothingness, the easier it'll be for everything to just kind of work its way in and just kind of suck you down the rabbit hole, so to speak.
Once I drank the first cup, within about 30-ish minutes, I just felt like my muscles and my body relaxed. My first boyfriend when I was 13 years old, multiple times, the sex that we had was unconsensual. I felt dirty, and after he did all of that, he told me, you know, that nobody would ever want me again because I was dirty, and I still feel that way. And those feelings have lingered for years, and that's something that I still really haven't been able to deal with. That's what I came here for, though.
Ayahuasca is a sacred plant. It's a sacred journey inward. It's like someone is there with you, helping you in the hardest, in your struggles, and it doesn't matter how bad they are. She will come and give you a hand or show you how to get out of the place that you are.
Has Taylor taken any more since he purged or no?
No, but I might have another cup in a little while.
What's that?
I might have another cup in a little while.
Good deal. I just didn't want you left out over there. Taylor, the first night, was resistant. He wanted to do his own thing. You could tell the walls were still up. The fortress was still locked down. But this is what I also knew. His house of sand was crumbling. The water was melting it, and the foundation was being washed away in the river of Ayahuasca.
I just kind of slowly became more aware of my body and how it was heating up. And then I started seeing things immediately. There was a woman. We were just like walking into this stairwell of psychedelic madness. I started remembering a lot of things from my childhood that I guess were in some fissure inside me, and I was terrified. I think it got too overwhelming for me. I passed out and just slipped into some kind of void.
We're gonna take you with us. When we work with people, we use all kinds of different means. Sometimes it's just, as simple as sitting down and talking to them. I can relate to a lot of these people because I've been through a lot of shit in my life. How are you gonna understand or tell somebody things that might help them if you've never been through it? It's like trying to explain to a man exactly what it's like to give birth.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how much pain are you in?
It depends on the day, but I mean, there's not a day that goes by that I'm not sad. I don't really even know my personality without my depression, and it's scary to not know who you are.
I understand. I understand. And I appreciate your bravery for sharing this. But understand, by touching these things, while Mother Aya is just now starting to work through you, it's going to allow her to go to the core of these issues.
The first person that I ever dated, the first sexual encounter, well, there was many that weren't consensual, and that still bothers me.
How old were you?
13.
How long did you stay with this person?
Till I was like 14 and a half, which kind of makes it conflicting for me. Doesn't make sense to me that I did that, but
I understand. I understand.
I just view sex differently. I just don't view it as love at all.
And that's going to create for you a very shallow life at the end of the day. And I think you kind of know that. You kind of want something deeper in a relationship.
Give yourself the gift of not placing things that have happened to you onto your relationships. And forgive yourself because you were a child. If a 13-year-old little girl looked at you right now and said, Emily, me and my boyfriend, we were kind of messing around and things got a little further than I wanted. I said no, but he did it anyway. Are you gonna look at her and go, feel guilty? That's what you're doing to yourself. That's what you're doing to yourself. You're holding yourself responsible.
Sorry.
You're fine, sweetie, don't be sorry. Sometimes we think we've cried all we can over things, and then we find out that there's a lot more behind it. And that's okay, because that's how we let go of it.
I've just cried so much over my life, I don't even know how there's tears left in my eyes.
I can completely understand.
At that aha moment, that's where Terry hit the nail right on the head. And she did it in such a way that it made her think. It made her feel. Mother Aya is going to show her in no uncertain terms that she is worthy of love, that she is worthy of respect. And not only is she worthy of these things, she deserves them.
Lean your head back just a hair.
I want to warn you, it has an intense burning sensation. Last night I was really excited because we really laid the foundation of trust, and we really laid a very strong foundation of them getting comfortable within the medicine. Tonight, before we go into our ayahuasca journey, I have a little gift from Brazil called Sananga drops. These drops go into your eyes, and we put these drops prior to the ceremony because this has ibogaine alkaloids that is going to increase the visions of the ayahuasca. It also has a spiritual element all unto itself, but combined with ayahuasca, it is incredibly powerful. The second night, we're getting them prepared for a very intense experience. We're gonna make symbols of the things that have caused them the most trouble in their life, and then we're gonna burn it with an effigy, and that is gonna sear it into their subconscious mind while ayahuasca is taking effect of what it needs to let go. We're about to do what's called negative sigils. I'm gonna show you how to make symbols. These symbols are gonna represent everything that you want to leave behind that came through that door, and they're going to have another purpose later tonight. Sigils that we will be using in pre-ceremony tonight is symbology at its simplest. We are going to take sentences and we are going to remove vowels and double consonants and leave only the letters, and from the letters left, we're going to make symbols. Going left to right, I got an R. I'm going to put this R right there. This ain't puppies and kittens. This is about getting rid of this shit. This is about putting it on paper and putting it to the universe, and it is gone. This is all the things I want to get rid of, that when I burn in my ayahuasca ceremony, when I let go of this symbol, these things are leaving into the cosmos.
I put my codependency because I'd like to be more independent. I also put my tendency to withdraw socially. I put a lot of my shame into my sigil. It's something I've struggled with for a very long time. I'm really wanting to let that go.
Two here would like to do Sananga drops before your ayahuasca ceremony because this has ibogaine properties and it will increase your visions. It's also very good for your eyes. But those that want to do it, I want to warn you because there is a price to pay, and that is at the beginning, it has an intense burning sensation. Why? Because pain creates energy within the deepest realms of our minds. And when we do it, we want you holding your symbol. Think about what you're letting go.
Keep your eyes closed until I tell you to open them, okay? There's one. There's two. Lean your head back just a hair. Okay. Blink your eyes. Open and blink. Blink, 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 blink.
All that fear and pain went into that symbol that they were holding when that Sananga was burning like a red-hot coal in their pupil. Hold your symbol. Focus on that symbol. Into your nose, out to your mouth. Into your nose, out to your mouth. Accept and allow. It will pass. It really brought a seriousness to the sigils, to what we were about to do. Tonight, I feel this group needs to be bonded with a little bit of fear. Nick and Talawi, please bring out the corpse. The corpse I used to bring home what we're doing, we're working with life and death.
The corpse for us represents the old them, that is the them that they're letting go. We're gonna pin the sigil to it, and then, you know, when we light it on fire, that part of them is gone.
I am about to take these people on a near-death experience with a very thin tether to bring them back whole but different. They got here over decades of up inner dialogue, abusive relationships, and self-esteems that were decimated. Thank you so much.
The words I chose for my list were shame, rage, and people that suck. If I could literally leave something here and not take it back with me, it would be those things. Growing up, I was blocking a lot of stuff out, but I was also doing that so I could have a relationship or somewhat of a relationship with my family. And then after I talked to them about the abuse or mentioned it, I was immediately blacklisted and excommunicated. I just felt like all those years where I was blocking something out so I could have a relationship with them was, it wasn't worth it at all. The sooner I can get rid of all this harbored guilt and shame and or whatever you want to call it, the better.
Now, as we sit here in front of our corpse of our negative internal dialogue, we want to say a few final words. We're gathered here today to release you to the universe to never come back in our lives again. By them handing me their symbol after they drank ayahuasca and been blessed by sage and rattle. That symbol of pain, negativity, loathing, hatred, shame. We gave it to the universe to never return.
I really did do what Steve asked and focus the pain with the sexual assault. I felt like I could kind of put that a little bit more to rest than it was, at least.
It's hard when someone's not willing to see you the way you want to be seen. It can fill you with things like shame because you feel very unwanted.
I got you. Thank you. Here, give me a second. I'll get you. I hope I'm done.
Tonight, the ceremony we did with the sigils, the burning of the corpse, the effigy, all that combined was about them identifying and becoming aware of what has really been their challenges in life, what has held them back, so that mental terrain is firmly seated with what they need to move forward.
I'm trying to breathe. I think I'm like breathing a little too fast, which is making it worse.
Okay.
Or at least sit up.
Yeah, kind of straighten up a little bit.
I started feeling the nausea and the sort of start to sweat a little bit type deal. Then I got nervous and ended up, vomiting and stuff. But if there's a good puke, it was a good puke, if that makes any sense. I felt lighter when I walked away.
Music has a huge influence on your journey. You will go with the songs, what it's telling you, open your heart, heal it, and allow you to process way more stuff through your subconscious mind.
The second night with Taylor, the medicine took him straight to bed. Taylor came because he had been abused as a small child, but he has to shift gears from his inner child that shut everything out because that was safer than letting anything in. I really do feel his breakthrough is coming. The question will be, can Taylor process this rush of pain when it's finally released?
I just kind of fell into my head. And that's when I started letting ayahuasca take effect. I was a toddler, I was small, and I was running through a house. I saw white walls, I saw white molding and hardwood floors. I had to find hiding places around the house where I couldn't really be accessed that easy. I was just rounding corners. And I mean, maybe it was something that happened to me a long time ago, but it was vivid enough to where it was definitely coming from some kind of bank in my mind. Parts of my childhood abuse did come up, and that's when I started having physical feelings of anxiety. I was trying to put it all down inside, and then it turned into vomit. I think it was a lot of fear and anxiety that was coming up to the surface for me. Just things that I've hung on to for so long. It was making me sad. And I felt like I was throwing up stuff that was making me really unhealthy. Just like rage that I've just held in my gut.
Yeah.
Just letting you know I'm out here with a fresh bucket and a paper
Can
towel.
you come in,
so-
please?
Huh?
I would like a fresh bucket.
Are you decent?
Yeah.
Ooh, shit.
What?
Got a little bit of red in there. You okay? It sounded like you were getting it pretty rough in here, trying to. Or sounded like something was trying to come up.
That's what was happening.
Which is fine. With Taylor, you could really tell that this was something very crucial. He was releasing the emotions built up because there was a lot of things that he's been through.
Oh, I don't know what's gonna happen. With Jules, you could tell that after she drank that first cup, Mother Aya, her tentacles were already starting to work through her. But I also knew Jules was gonna have to take a very, very courageous and brave step. We share a lot of similarities. We really do.
Yeah.
Because we know what it is to feel like an outcast. I'm a convicted felon.
Right.
Terry's a convicted felon. We know what it is to have a secret that we can't share openly.
Right.
You know, we know what it is to feel shame.
It's something I've struggled with for a long time.
Now, do you and your mother still interact, or?
It's very limited.
Okay.
She wanted to cut all contact after she learned about my gender transition. And I didn't feel like I'd ever be acceptable at that point. I had tried cutting my wrist in the bathtub. Thankfully, a close friend of mine had intervened.
Thankfully,
Like
yes.
he was bursting down a door
To get to you.
to get to me.
That tells me somebody loved you.
Yeah. And I've had a lot of support since coming out. I've got a daughter now, and
Wow. How does that feel?
it's beautiful. She's amazing.
Now, we've kind of set something up outside, and I'd like you to trust us for a little longer. Do you trust us now?
I trust you, Steve. And Terry.
Well, good. Thank you, because we got your best interest at heart. Under ayahuasca, our subconscious is wide open and raw. As a modern shaman, it's important that we plow the road of their mind while Mother Aya courses through their veins. I have created an arena of reflection for Jules. It's made up of mirrors and lights. Everywhere she looks, she will see herself in beautiful feminine form. And remember what I told you, if it gets too intense, I want you to close your eyes for a little bit, kind of take a breath. In fact, right now, kind of look around. I want you to get comfortable in your surroundings. Get comfortable with you from every angle. You're a beautiful woman. You should take that in. I want you to think about, what is your best attribute? Look at that person in that mirror right now, and I want you to have that mental conversation. I want you to laugh with her. And I want you to fully embrace her, because she's been through a lot of shit. And she has taken a lot of shit. And 5 years ago, she was ready to end all that shit, and that person sitting in that chair would not have been here, would not have held her daughter, would not have been the role model. And look at how you're feeling now, looking at yourself. You're laughing. You're fully aware and engaged and smiling. And you're doing this all in front of strangers. You're not withdrawn. You're reaching out. And all this is wonderful. And all this is really causing you to move forward from this day forth. All that other crap was burned on that corpse that we set fire to in your sigil. That was all yours and no one else's. That you chose to let go. Shame. You chose to let go social withdrawal. And what was the third thing you chose to let go?
I'm not allowing myself to, fully love myself.
Are you closer to fully loving yourself now?
I am.
Do you really see your worth?
I think so, yes.
And how could you ever kill that and deprive the world of that gift?
I can't.
You can't. And that's why your daughter loves you. And you are her goddess. Well, how are we feeling right now? Because this is intense.
Feeling a lot of peace.
My heart was really full of joy for her. I knew right there we just watched a very intense breakthrough. This arena of love, this arena of self-respect, and this arena of courage. And you are dead set in the middle of it all. That's a beautiful way to start a journey.
I started meditating on things like, how can I make this world a better place? And I saw what I felt like the future of humanity might look like, and perhaps journeying out into the stars and creating something much larger than ourselves. And the vision sort of started. It was sort of as if I had become a goddess. I saw a beautiful woman who has gone through so much and who has faced, a lifetime of soul searching only to arrive at this moment. And I felt very complete.
I feel like with my depression and anxiety, I don't want someone to fix it. I'm not asking for a savior. I'm asking for somebody to put their arm around me and tell me it's gonna be okay. I'm never gonna accept anything less than that again.
I am so proud of you. Oh, it is so great what you did last night.
I feel amazing today. Last night was an experience, to say the least. Well, I feel like I'm glowing. I don't know how to describe that, but yeah. I feel like I could do anything.
Mother Aya put you all back together a little bit.
A lot of it, I'd say.
You look like a completely different person today than the one that walked in.
It's strange. I feel like the same person, but I feel so much lighter, so much more connected. But today I feel very content in myself, and I feel very complete. Like I don't need that validation of others or anything.
Jules was radiant today. And I'm talking the energy that was coming from her was nothing but pure self-acceptance for the first time in a long time. That's Mother Aya at her best. It doesn't always take ayahuasca, but it always takes Mother Aya. I am very proud of each and every one of you here. It took great bravery and courage for each of you to go through the ordeals that we have put you through. As you're re-entering the world, I want you to remember, you're leaving here as different individuals as you walked in. But the world has not changed. And the little puddles of poo that you left at home or wherever you came from is still waiting for you when you get back. But hopefully through this, you have gained a different perspective and will choose a different reaction when confronted with your old way of life. Come here, Taylor. Thank you so much.
I would do ayahuasca again. This is pretty good. I feel taken care of right now. That's it. That's all I got. I can't do any more than that. It's too many emotions.
Thank you, guys.
Be safe.
All right, you guys too.
Thank you.
Leaving Ayahuasca, I just feel like empowered. I feel like a badass. I don't know. You know? Feels good.
When I came to Ayahuasca, I was feeling very depressed, feeling the burden on the lives of the people around me, and feeling like I weighed people down. But, you know, setting out, I feel like I'm more complete. And I'd like to say to the, you know, transgender, non-binary, and queer community that things can get better, and that they will. There are people out there who will love you, and that you are enough, and that you are amazing, just the way you are.
I have the most beautiful, blessed, peaceful existence that any human being, much less retired bank robber, convict, thief, could ever hope to be. And I hope anybody who sees this thinks this world is unfair when a piece of shit like me can enjoy the existence that I do now. And I hope it makes you get the off the couch and do something.
I have a more positive outlook on life. I feel like I know myself better. I feel like I have more of a personality.
I'm doing quite well. This has been a very good summer for me. I don't know, it's an exciting time.